Next, on the Boardroom. Dr. Len Lopez, with the Workhorse Fitness Trainer, meets with board members to discuss an investment in his product.
What are you doing now in sales?
I'm doing about $2 to $3 grand a month. Yeah, I'm only doing about 25, 30. That's what I'm hoping to try to find, get the marketing help.
So you said you're doing 25 to 30 units a month.
Right.
Where are those sales being generated from?
Me writing articles about what Workhorse.
So people are ordering Dallas Fort Worth or from Canada or from California.
All over the country.
All over the country. And do you, when you sell one in California, do your sales start to improve as that buyer talks about your unit to other people? Do you see that at all?
I don't know, because I'm just so new at trying to do that online now. I've only been doing it online for about 3 months now.
So you're not tracking your sales?
I'm tracking my sales. I'm tracking them more for who's buying it. Is it somebody like you guys, an older, 45 mature male versus a female versus, that is.
So let me ask you a question. Are you focused more on women than men? And I hate doing pull-ups. Hated doing them all through high school. But where do pull-ups rank in terms of exercise that give you the best bang for your buck? I always see infomercials for either abdominal.
Right.
So how does that rank from a medical perspective? What does it do for you?
Well, okay, simply, push-ups work half your upper body. Okay, push-ups work your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps. That's half your upper body. When you do a pulling motion, now you work your back muscles, biceps, and forearms. So the other half of your upper body. So from a sports medicine point of view, a lot of people complain of upper back pain. This is what my brother told me to focus on. But they have upper back pain. Okay, a lot of people just have upper back pain. Well, you think about it. How many people spend their day like this all day, doing this all day, doing this all day? They're always having their shoulders pulled forward, which means you're shortening up your pec muscles. Okay, I'm not even including driving or sleeping like this. The muscular, from the muscle point of view, you shorten up your pec muscles, which means the opposing muscles are in a lengthened position. And we're not doing any kind of this, or any kind of this kind of motion to kind of balance everything out. And so when you start doing, and there's magazines, there's articles, research showing any kind of pulling motion like this only helps relieve upper back pain. And so I think for women, moms, nurses, chefs, attorneys that spend all day like this, there's just basic simple exercise like this would be great. But if you're going home and you're starting to work out, people start working out at home, they'll jog, they'll do squats, they'll do lunges, they'll do some sit-ups, and they'll do some push-ups. And they'll want to do pull-ups, let's just do it on home, and they neglect it. So they create muscle imbalance, then the exit pain comes in because they further tighten their chest muscle rather than push it. So pull-ups, those two exercises are always considered by anybody who knows anything about fitness, are the two basic exercises that gotta go hand in hand.
Well, let's get to what your offer is now.
Well, the way I figured it with talking with with Steve Friedman, the president of them, I said, Len, I asked him, it sounds like you could be my whole media marketing company that I need, that can get me all that print media that I need. And he goes, that's what we can do. We can take care of all that for you and get you on all the TV shows, start locally, take it up to the international level, pay for it that way. Right now, I see, and I think I put it down there, it'll probably take about, over the next three to 4 months, about 10 grand for our total of $40,000 as far as over the next 90 days, and then a standing line of credit for another $40,000 to deal with just if we get another rush, if we need to sit there and make another order real quick. If all of a sudden you get on a Shape Fit magazine, one of the big magazines out there, if all of a sudden they come out and write an article about that, and the numbers that they have drawn to them, they can immediately flood us into where, within 3 or 4 or 5 days, you could sell, a couple of hundred of them.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
How long lead time do you need when you're ordering from China, though? I assume it's weeks and weeks and weeks.
About 30 to 45 days.
I bought books from Millie that were printed in China, and it seemed like it was 60 to 90 days.
Yeah, and so they tell me, 45 to 60 days, that's when the number they keep telling me, and the one who turns around has been that way so far. And I've had just small orders, and so I'm sure once I consider, say, hey, I want a whole container, which would be roughly about 1,000 units in there, give or take 100 or so.
So for a $40,000 investment, when do you expect that I would get a return on my money?
6 months to a year.
I'd have all of the money back.
Oh, you want all the money back?
Yeah.
Okay.
When is my investment returned? Just the investment.
Just the investment. I wish I could tell you absolutely positively I can't. I'll say it'd be great that in the first year to have it returned to me. I'd love to be able to do that. But my goal is, again, to see if I can sell the company too.
But of the 40,000 that you requested, how much inventory are you putting with that 40,000?
Anywhere between 500 and 700 units.
Okay, so that's where the return would come from. So at $75 per unit, you're saying is the maximum profit that you would be making?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're making $7,500 per 100. Okay, so 500 units would be what? 7,500, 15,000, 30,000, 30,000 plus, 37,500.
Okay.
Okay, the rest would be spent away from inventory.
Right.
So that rest that would be spent, how long would that take you how far would that take you in the next 6 months?
Don't know. I wish I could tell you exactly how long. I don't know if all of a sudden when we start doing getting some media hits from some of the magazines that are out there to write an article about us, is that going to knock out an extra 20 units for us? Is it going to knock out another 200 units for us?
How many units do you have in stock now?
Just a little under 100 right now.
A little under 100.
So as an investor's looking for a return on their money, I'm looking to put my money in places that get the highest, quickest return. So as an investor, you're kind of losing me and saying you don't have any clue when or if it would return money.
Okay.
You have the issue that it's hard to get a valuation on your company because you don't have profits, really, I assume, or you don't have that much sales to come up with a valuation to get the money in. John's suggestion was more of like I'm suggesting you do with your PR firm, where I would get, as an investor, I would get X number of dollars per unit back, so I know that there's an ongoing stream of revenue in, and we're not. When you say you'll give, let's say, I think you said 50% of profits or something until I got the return back. Right. The problem you get into when you do those kind of deals now is I'm going to have a concern in verifying all of your expenses. Not want to have that issue with me, or you don't want me coming through your financials at the degree I would want to, and I think the best way to solidify all of that is to make it based on a number based on sales, something that you could pay.
To me, what would make good sense is if you agree to get Charles to get back X percent of each sale. Knows when you make a sale, the first thing that would happen is the cost of goods sold would be paid. So that takes up 25-30% of it. And then of the amount that's left, I'd say that 25 to 30% would go to Charles, and the rest of it would be profits you wouldn't get otherwise that would stay in the system that you work in.
Okay.
And that way, Charles is assured of getting paid every time you make a sale, because his comes out right behind the cost of goods sold.
Okay.
And that's where you always got money going back to buy new inventory, because you're always getting paid for each item that you sell.
Let me ask a question a different way. How much company would you give up if FastBucks production introduced your video?
How many of my videos? All of them?
As many as you
I don't know. I haven't thought about that one yet. I have to give some thought on that one. I mean, y'all have a video production company? Or?
That's
Oh.
he does.
Okay.
partners in it.
Okay. No, I mean, that's just one of the other expenses out there, producing the infomercial and everything. And then also just producing the videos. I just got Dr. Lopez, personal trainer, who has like the biggest health and wellness website out there, got me his endorsement.
Well, here's my thought. As you say, you're trying to do it with duct tape and super glue. We already have a sunk cost in FastBucks production. The question is, and I think we would be willing to finance purchase orders all day long. So the issue is, how can we generate more revenues on the cheap?
Okay.
And maybe that's a first phase into then a more professional approach with a 2-minute infomercial to QVC and build. And we want to generate more and more revenues and do that as inexpensive as possible. So that might be something to think about.
Well, that's what I would want to do. I would want to start out because I don't know if it's going to be an infomercial company, successful product or not, but I think we can generate a lot of good revenue by bringing on this marketing company I'm talking about because of their contacts to create all the internet, social media traffic that way.
Well, the price point that you threw out of $15,000, $5 on the just real cheap, but you first quoted $15,000 is a price point that I've heard several times now. So I believe that to be a firm market price point. Okay, so for $15,000 of investment, how much would I'm asking you to consider how much of the company you would give up.
I never said anything about that. Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of company is it?
Well, right now it's just under my corporation.
Is it LC? They call it?
It's a Dr. Lopez, just underneath
With proprietorship.
No, proprietorship.
Is it individual? It's under your name.
Yeah.
Individually.
Do you pay the taxes on do you file the taxes through your personal taxes, or does it have its own separate tax?
I'm separate, yeah. I'm separate. Remember, I got all the people members.
You generally want to not do that, by the way. Like 80-90% of companies are S corps. My company's an S corp. You have double taxation issues doing it the way you're doing it. You generally want to be an S corp, not C corp.
Yeah, I met with a guy yesterday that's a pretty neat fellow. He says, with the government now, for hiring somebody, you can get like $8,000 credit for hiring somebody, which if your S-corp goes straight to you.
We do those tax credits based on the profile of the individual.
I saw the forms while I was out in stores. There was
It looks
a
like
package of it.
We get you can get up to $2,500 tax credit per employee, so that's part of our hiring process now, that they have to go through a questionnaire, John, and it's just free money off the bottom line.
So, Lynn, I guess just kind of putting it all out there, what I want to be able to see is when I would get a return on the investment. I'm most interested in doing that on a piece-by-piece basis instead of doing it on a profit basis. And we do have things already that I think you could utilize,
right.
and we could get an offset on our costs, and it would save you money. We have a call center. We have a video production company.
Okay.
We have a whole accounting team. So any of that you could utilize, that you would be paying another company for,
Right.
it would benefit me and potentially you by doing those combined.
Oh, of course, absolutely. I mean, I could this being a great partnership that way. Yeah, I mean, I can see that being, and as far as trying to structure the payout, the return, in some way to where there's a continual return for the money coming in, yeah, that can be set up too. Just kind of, yeah, I'm not set to say you can't get anything back until I sell it or anything like that. Yeah, just trying to figure out what would be the thing, whether we just set it up as just one flat fee there, or set up just an adjustable thing as it goes up, as far as sales increase that up to a certain percentage, a higher percentage here, just so we're not taking all the initial profits out of it to pay you back, as long as we're still showing something, whether hypothetical numbers 10%, then 15%, 20%, until you get to where your point is that brings you your money back and everything.
And just so you understand too, any kind of angel investor is really looking for something like a 40 to 50% annualized return. It may not come in the first year, but that's what I'm looking to be able to see to make or more.
Right.
And again, I think it's a whole lot less headaches for all of us if that's coming through ongoing sales. So I think if you could go away and think on those things, come up with a model for us on a spreadsheet where this is how much you would pay me when I get my money, my principal back, then that drops to a different number, and come up with some realistic sales that you think you can get off of the money that we're talking about, and just show me where I could get the kind of return that I need to make on my money to make it worth my time.
You need to go generate some revenue. Then you got credibility.
Right. Well, I thank you guys for your time and everything.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Looking forward to putting something together.
Okay.
sometimes.
Good seeing you.
Guys, I give you,
You believe in in your product, that's a great thing.
oh, yeah, it's my
You
baby.
gotta take my copy, ready?
I don't know, you have that one?
I need that.
Oh, is that the copy? I'm sorry. Well, when I
I'll
lost,
digest that tonight.
He loves history.
You know, hey Len, it kind of reminds me, I'm just looking at the picture, I remember my kids when they were young and I had a little swing that I put them in. Did you add an ad on there?
oh, I got some great pictures of my kids using the workhorse out there, because, I started late, it was just, one of those guy things, he didn't give it to us at an earlier
Yes.
age and everything. But, my kids, I have twins, poor girl twins, and they my little boy, he'd come in and grab it, he'd first walk underneath it, then finally grab it, and he'd hang and just swing, pull his legs up and everything. And I told my wife when I put it, but she didn't want me to put them on the website and everything, or just those kind of pictures out there.
Yeah.
And now I have a 26-month-old, something like that. And he's doing the same thing. He loves to show off and go over there and grab it and hang and swing. And that's my fun. I
You
love
need to make a lot of money.
I love being a dad. That's my funnest thing in life right now. Being a dad. And I want to spend more time with him. And so I think I've created a way that I can sit there and have a flexible life and spend time with them and not be, punching the clock and everything, and enjoy life and everything the way I did before. And it's just a matter of fall down and get back up again.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate your time so much, Charles. I'll give you a shout or send you an email, and we'll discuss further and stuff like that.
Pleasure meeting you, sir.
Pleasure to meet you
Sorry.
as well. Thank you so much.
If you have a product or service you would like to present to the boardroom for advice and perhaps an investment, visit www.boardroomlessons.com.